Hi, I'm Roland Winbeckler, and this is cake decorating at CakeSuppliesPlus.com.
Okay, this time we're going to do some palm trees, and what we're going to do is use the comet tail effect. In the last videos, what I did was kind of show some of those techniques, but they were shown as how they affect the airbrush and how the airbrush operates, and I wasn't showing them necessarily as an exercise of how to do them. But this time that's what I want to show you, is how to do these things. And we're going to do some palm trees to illustrate that. Basically, one of the strokes that you'll find just endlessly useful with an airbrush is the comet stroke. It's also called dagger strokes or rat tails, but it's heavy and then coming to light. Heavy and then coming to light. And this can be tiny, or it could be large. You could do it the other way too, with light going to heavy. And what I'm doing here is I'm away from the surface, and then add the color, and then move, and see how I move closer to the surface as I go. So closer to the surface, and at the same time I'm releasing the color. The color is first on, and then I'm going back and forth. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going on and then off, on, off, as I'm doing the stroke. This takes a little bit of practice, but not that much, and you'll find that this is endlessly useful. We'll do that same stroke now, and we'll go some large comet tails, and we'll call these palm trees. And you see what I've done here? I'm just heavy and then going to lighter, heavy and going to lighter. And then what we're going to do is do the same thing up on the top for the fronds. We're going to come down and heavy light, and lift this feather up. Keep your hand moving. Don't stop. Don't go too slow. If you go slow, it makes for a much more shaky result, and you want to keep that as smooth as possible. So we're just going to get this idea like something like so, and then see how heavy and then light, heavy, light, heavy, light. And there's different ways of drawing on these fronds, but this is one possibility. And I'll add a little color to the center. So anyway, palm trees could be as simple as that, but it's the same stroke. The comet tail stroke, heavy and then light, heavy then light. Same with the top. We want to do some ground type effect. We're going to do something like this. And what we want to do, when you do something like this, you're going to do more of a heavy line. But you see, I'm tipping the airbrush to where I want the shadow to go, so I don't get as much overspray on the top side of that line. You want to keep that confined as much as possible. You'll get some overspray, but it shouldn't be too bad. And it could easily be done in color. So, but I'm going to just go ahead and show this in silhouette. And so something like that. So that's kind of nice. Now if we wanted to add some water out here, what you want to do is get your hand moving. Keep your hand moving. And this can be more intense out at the horizon, because the you're looking at a lot more of it in a smaller space out there. But as you get closer, come down and make some more of these comet strokes. And I'm leaving it a little bit lighter to the center part, because we're going to have a moon up there, of course. Anybody knows that. So we want the moon reflection to show right there. So that's what that is. So anyway, so we have that like that. Now if we want to put in the moon, let's say, we want it over our reflection. So it could be any place you want, but I'm going to put it right here. And see what I'm doing? I'm just using this color bottle here as a stencil, or a mask rather. And then we'll just spray around that. Got to get it dark enough so we can see the detail. There, that's like a full moon. And then one other thing we could do, so if we took some paper towel in this case. This will give kind of a softer effect, which is be nice. And then tear a purposely jagged effect, like something like this. And then we'll go ahead and hold this. Hope I can do this without getting in the way of the camera, but we'll hold this up like so and spray like so. Let some of it come over the moon so we get these clouds, this cloud-like effect here. And there, that's all there is to it. And again, this could be done in sunset. It's just really pretty in sunset. I don't have time to do it in color this time. I might do another one in color, but that's the idea. Again, if we wanted, those strokes we're using are Comet strokes or Dagger strokes. We could put some grasses in down here to kind of highlight this area. Maybe even down farther on the beach. So whatever you want to do, you could write on it. We could put some little birds off in the distance. Nice thing about this airbrush, you can get this fine detail even on buttercream icing, and definitely on more firm icing, so that works well. And what I'm using the Pegasus airbrush here, and the reason I'm using the Pegasus is because it has a nice feel. I just like the way it feels. It feels right. There's others that work well. I have some big sets that are great, and I have some other small ones. This particular one, this feels a little nicer. It's less prep work and such than the bigger sets, and it's as good as any, and I like it better than most. And the thing I really like about it is that it does what you expect it to do. If I expect it to make a small, oh great, I'm out of juice. Look, wouldn't you know? Just when I was trying to impress you with how nice it worked when you want to do. Anyway, back to, so if you want to make a small line, something like that, you can do that. If you expect it, if you want it to make a heavier line, it's going to do what you expect, and that makes it a pleasure to use. And just like any machine, a machine that works correctly is the one you're going to want to use more often.
This is Roland Whitbeckler at CakeSuppliesPlus.com.